All right, the Lions might have another big change in store. We're going to look at the big change that we had last week against the Bears and then what we can do going forward. But let me know in the comments, Christmas coming up here. Are you a big breakfast person on Christmas? Like you open gifts and then it's a big breakfast thing, or is it a big dinner? Let me know what you do. Again, Craig and I read almost every comment. We don't respond to everyone. We try to, whatever, but it's like, but we definitely see what you say and love seeing that. So just let us know in the comments. Merry Christmas. Let us know in the comments. Okay. Here's the first thing that we did that I think just paid huge dividends was Iffy, Melifonwu. We did this kind of 3 safety thing where Iffy, he's listed under a safety, but he was kind of this linebacker, nickel, blitzer. He just provided something for us, some juice on the defensive side. I know it's one guy, but he did that, I think it was last year or the year before. He comes back. He is an explosive, physical player. He's bigger than a safety, a little bit bigger than a safety. He's kind of a linebacker type guy. He's not quite a, every down linebacker, of course, but he made a big change in there to really allow us to do things differently defensively. And I think that was a really nice little shot in the arm that we needed. And by the way, I'm going to let you know the playoff picture now that it's gotten clearer. And then we do know the reason why Brandon Joseph was released. Also look at JMO here in a second. But here's the next change that we made, or that I see coming for sure, is that, and let me know in the comments on this one. Jahmyr Gibbs, complete stud. I mean, just complete. We all wondered, like, what would it be like if he was just kind of in there, kind of more? It's just exactly what you thought. I mean, there was about 2 or 3 plays that he made, 10-yard gains out of nothing, or it should have been a 4-yard gain. He gets 9. More than that, really. I mean, more plays than that. Like, he just is such a difference maker. But Craig Reynolds, we all love, but you can just tell, man, steps slower. He just doesn't have, and obviously compared to Jahmyr Gibbs, it's always going to be like, he's going to look slower out there. But Sion Vaki and Jefferson, this is the change that's going to happen. Vaki looked really good at the end. He's got some juice and some thickness to him, and he's got some contact balance. Jefferson looks like Jahmyr Gibbs. Numbers are similar, kind of got similar hair. Expect to see more of that. Let's see some of these guys get out there, give Vaki some more opportunities, and that's what we're seeing as we kind of shift and rotate and do all kinds of different things with our roster. Is we start seeing some of these guys because of injuries, whatever, and then at first it's like, okay, and then the second week they play, just like anything, the more you do something, the better you get at it. And so Vaki's, you could see him playing more week 2, week 3, that, David Montgomery's out. And so now you go into the playoffs and you've got maybe a 3-headed monster at running back. So let me know who you like better, Vaki or Jefferson or Reynolds. Out of the 3, like if you're like, all right, Gibbs is out, needs a rest, who do you want running in? Let me know in the comments on that. Okay. Another thing, I mean, let me pull this up. I mean, I want to touch on this play. We know this play was just incredible. And I think a couple things. I mean, Goff, first of all, what's he on the 10-yard line and just throws a missile dot over the shoulder. It was one of the coolest plays I can remember as a Lions fan. And you might say, well, that wasn't, I don't know. There's different runs and things. It's somewhat of a basic play, but I think it was just, man, 3 years in the making. It's like, oh, Goff sucks and he can't play outside. And he's got gloves and he's got small hands and he can't throw the ball farther than 10 yards in the cold. That's number one. JMO, is he ever going to go deep? Like, go deep, man. Throw it to him. And then when he does go deep, it's like, can he ever catch it? Which is like, it's kind of hard. You just, all these things are going through your head. JMO, first of all, look at this. Goff's on like the 10-yard line, launches it, and then here's the thing. It's hard to see, but you can kind of see how down the bottom of the screen, JMO's even with him. So when he launches this ball, it's not like he was wide open past him, but this is the difference in JMO right here. He's even with him, and then in 10 yards, probably 15 yards, gets that 2-3 yard separation, and he's just gone. So here's why I bring this play up. Great play, love it. But it doesn't happen unless Dan Campbell treats this just awesomely. And remember, J-Mo gets that penalty with Tyreek Stevenson again, spins the ball on the sideline, flag. He did the same thing when the game was at Detroit, Chicago-Detroit. Stevenson tripped him. He threw the ball at his face, flag. We go back, we punt. We end up, the game's closer than it should have been. J-Mo's like, I'm sorry. I apologize to the team. Will never happen again. Sure enough, spins the ball. And so conventional wisdom would be like, all right, bench him. That's what I was thinking. Just get him out of here. You know what? We'll just play without him. He's got to learn a lesson, all these things, right? And you see Dan Campbell on the sideline, grab him, give him like a 8-second, just like a shaking. It goes back out there. And I just thought, let's go. And I'm thinking that is old school, right? Hey, sit down and learn your lesson and hurt the team. It's like, hey, no more, get out there. Boom, catches an 82-yard bomb, touchdown. So I love everything about that, and I'm just so glad that J-Mo's doing his thing out there. He's incredible. I mean, he had a couple catches too that were he had that little check down, caught it like a 5-yard pass, took it for 20. It's like, that is the stuff. That is exactly what we're talking about. Okay, here's the number 1 seed situation. The Lions get the number 1 seed if the Lions beat the 49ers and the Packers beat the Vikings. Then that Lions-Vikings outcome doesn't matter. Are you kidding me? Didn't know that. Didn't know that this wouldn't matter for sure. I thought, you're going to have to play it out because there's some tiebreaker stuff and some things like that, I guess. I didn't know for sure. Wouldn't this be just awesome? And just like, because then that gives us basically 2 buys. Oh man. So this is everything. Beat the Niners and Packers, come on. The Packers I can't quite figure out because against everybody else not called the Detroit Lions, they are just like, whoa. They're incredible. But then we play them. I don't know. It's just weird. They're kind of like the Seahawks. Seahawks are just incredible. Then they play good teams. And like, well, they suck. I thought they were good. So here's another one. Lions beat the Niners, and the Lions tie the Vikings the following week. Lions lose to the Niners. Vikings lose to the Packers. Lions tie Vikings. Okay. So or Lions beat the Vikings. So here's the situation. We have to beat if we lose, we have to beat the Vikings. If we win, we hope the Packers win. Let's go. Come on, Packers. That gives us 2 bye weeks. We can rest all our main players for that final week against the Vikings would be because we got the division, the number 1 seed all wrapped up. And remember, and this is why this is so huge, is because, oh, look out. This is why this is so huge. It used to be there were 2 buys. And so you just want to be a 1 or a 2 seed. It didn't matter. Now, if we're not the 1, that means the Vikings are the 1. That means the Vikings won the division, and now we're on the road and playing, and we got to win 4 games to win it all. You got to win 3 games just to get to the Super Bowl. We looked at that last year. We saw it firsthand when we played the Niners. Remember, emotional, crazy first playoff win against the Rams at home. Took everything we had. Then the Buccaneers, same thing. I mean, we're playing them. Then we go across country to play against the Niners. And remember the Niners? They had just all they had done, not all, but they beat the Packers at home after they had rested. So they're like, oh, beat the Packers, and we'll just wait here for you guys to make the flight over, and we'll play you. And we're like going over there, just like a lot. It was a lot. That is exactly what we want. Both get a rest, home game, NFC Championship, Super Bowl. This team can do it. I mean, it's crazy what a couple players will do for us. A couple things that happened Sunday that got me excited was Iffy Melifonwu came back, and just that one player added something, added a little juice. Second thing was you weren't seeing guys just limp. We didn't see anybody injured, and it was like, man, that is just okay. So you can play a game and nobody gets injured. That's encouraging. That's exciting. That just excite like. Chris, for a second there, it's like, all right, who are we going to lose this week? Oh, man, that was brutal. Okay. And lastly, Brandon Joseph. That was a weird one, right? He got suspended, or he got released. And you're like, what the heck? Well, what happened was Dan Campbell said it was a perfect storm of a combination of roster crunch and an off-field incident. So he's got the off-field thing, and then you got Iffy Melifonwu coming back. You're trying to figure out who you want to get on there, who you want to add, and so he was released. So I didn't misspeak. I guess I misspoke last video where I was like, don't know why was it because of this? I shouldn't have said anything. He did have like possibly a DUI. So again, he's gone. It's fine. Iffy's back. Love Iffy. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.